We did this.
No. Shall we forget?
Yeah.
Yes. So we have current accounts, deficits, and surpluses. So it is very unlikely that in any given period of time, the value of a country's exports will be exactly the same as the value of its imports. The difference between the two values is called current balance. So it's not possible that our export, the value of our exports and imports equal. If it happens, we call it current account balance. But most of the time it is not happening. But whatever it is, the difference between the value of export and import is called current balance. Just put that in mind. So for our current balance, we have the current account deficit and we have the current account surplus. Why do we call our current account deficit? Why do we call our current account surplus? We call our current account deficit whenever our import exceeds our export. That means the value of imports exceeds the value of export. That means our current account is what? In the deficit. Do you get the point?
The economy of the country is weak.
Well, it might also be a decision of, yeah, it's weak. Because how would you continue to export, import? You're supposed to even sell out.
Yeah.
Because that is the only way the value of your currency becomes better and stronger. Do you get it? So for current account deficit, it means what? Your import exceeds your export in terms of the values. So look at what this said. A current account deficit occurs when the value of import is greater than the value of export, which I just said now, exceeds what? Import exceeds export. So this means that the money flowing out of the economy resulting from international trade is greater than the money coming into the country. So you are spending more of your currency. You are spending more than what you are receiving. So this devalues the value of your currency. This devalues your currency. Because it means you need more of other currencies to buy goods and services. So you give them more of yours. And if you are giving more of yours, that means yours is surplus. As a result of that, the value of your currency falls. Did you get the point here?
Yes.
Any question about current account deficit? Current account deficit means what? Imports, the value of imports exceeds the value of exports. Slow down, please. Thank you. Read down. Up. Surplus means the value of your export exceeds your imports. The value of your export exceeds your imports. I think it's clear. Any question about that?
No.
We'll move on. So we go to visible and invisible trade. Why do we call it visible? We call it visible because it is handy. We can touch it. It's tangible. Like the marker, like the laptop, we can see them, we can touch them. That's tangible. It's like visible trade is what? Is to do with the buying and selling of physical goods. Tangible. Like the marker, like the board. They are physical. We can touch them. That's why we call it physical. So when we exchange goods and services, or when we exchange goods, it is visible. When we exchange services, it is invisible. That means trade of goods between countries is international visible trade. Trade of services is invisible. That is the point about that. Is it clear?
Yes.
So we have visible trade, which is also called the balance of trade. We call it BOT. BOT. So BOT brings us to BOP. Without balance of trade, we wouldn't even talk about balance of payment. Because balance of trade means transaction of goods between countries.
Yes.
That we have to record in our balance of payments. Do you get it?
Yes.
Balance of trade is what? Transaction of goods between countries, which has to be recorded in the balance of payments. That's why balance of payments is what? The record of international trade transactions between countries. Is it clear? Any question about balance of trade?
No.
So note that balance of trade is the same as what?
Visible trade.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Any question about that? So we go to invisible. This means services. Invisible trade is what? Services. Intangible. Untouchable. We can only feel it. We can hear about it. But it's not handy. We cannot touch it.
Like what?
Services, teaching. Teaching.
It's visible.
Banking.
I can see a teacher.
No, can you touch it?
No.
You can feel it.
Yes.
You can only feel it. What are you saying? You are feeling it. Invisible, yeah. It's invisible. It's intangible.
When they shake your hand, it's visible.
Yeah, shaking hands is not teaching. Teaching, hospitality, tourism.
Yeah.
These are invisible.
Yes.
Do we get it?
Yes.
Any question, please?
No.
We'll move on. So here it said invisible trade involves the exchange of services. Examples include tourism, trade in financial services, transport, shipping, business consultancy fees. Invisible trade also includes both flows of money resulting from the ownership of assets overseas. So when you have assets overseas, money flows in, right? As a return, it is invisible. So the example might include interest, rents, and profits. This is called primary income. So what are primary income? The return on your savings, the return on your assets abroad, the return you get are primary income. Do you understand primary income here?
Yes.
Finally, invisible trade also includes secondary income, which results mainly from government transactions. So whatever government does, it is secondary. Returns for government is secondary income. But for we individuals, it is what? Primary income. Do we get the difference here? Governments do have investments too. Do you know? Governments do have investments.
Yes,
Yeah, you have to
yes,
respond.
yes,
Yeah. So their investment, the return of government's investment is called secondary income. The return of our investment abroad is primary income.
Yeah.
Is it clear? Any question, please?
No.
All right, we move on.